Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup, if it's not abundantly clear, and colorful language. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. Today I am doing another tag. Tags are some of my favorite things to do, and I saw that there was a revised or new version of the eyeshadow palette tag going around. This tag was started by Samantha March and Allie Glines, and I've seen my friends Yolanda and now I can't remember anyone else. But I've been seeing other people do the tag too, and I was like, I want to do the tag. So that's what we're here today to do. To talk about eyeshadows, to talk about eyeshadow palettes. Now, I'm the kind of person that actually adores single eyeshadows more than palettes, but the palettes that stick around in my collection, they stick around for a reason and they mean something. So I have a big old stack of palettes. Thumbnail time, as Audra might say. Anyway, after making the thumbnail and carefully, precariously putting this stack back, I have a stack of palettes I'm going to talk about, I'm going to answer the tag, and if you're a creator and you feel inspired by this, you should also do the tag and let me know that you did it, and check out the creators that originated this, all of that good stuff. The questions and the people will all be in the description box. I'm stumbling over my words, so let's just get into this. So the first question up is my all-time favorite palette, and I have to give it to the original Adept Plain Jane. It has been remastered a couple of times. I don't have thoughts on that version. This version, though, there's a couple of reasons why it classifies as an all-time favorite. First of all, it's some of the older palettes in my collection. It's one of the older ones. And it functions as single eyeshadows. It is magnetic, and it's all sparkly shiny. So, yeah, this one it had to be the choice. Although, my newest favorite might soon qualify for an all-time favorite. So let's just share what that one is, because the second question is a new favorite, and this one could have fit into a lot of actually spots in the tag, but like the blends palette, I mean, is anybody surprised? Yeah, this could have answered a lot of questions in the tag, but this one is just so fucking good. And because I am a sparkly magpie, but I also love color, this pairs so well with a palette like Plain Jane or my singles, or it just plays well with others. I have done pastel looks with this. I have done bright looks with this. You can even do a little neutral. Yes. So then the next question is the palette I keep for the memories. I just roasted this one recently, but I do keep it for some memories. That is the Natasha Denona Gold palette. So this palette, I purchased this in fall of 2019. And the memories that this has is this was my last solo vacation trip. And I know what you're saying. You've traveled to Mexico, you've moved different locations, you've also gone to California. I know, but like September, October of 2019, I took a trip to Barcelona. It was the second time I have been to Barcelona. I love that city, and I really like Spain. I really like Spain. And, at that point in time, the Metropolis was out. This had been out for a while. And I kept thinking about it. And I was like, if there's a good sale, maybe one day. And I was at a Sephora in the middle of the city. And this was on sale randomly. It wasn't on sale on the Sephora Spain or Europe site. It wasn't on sale on the US site because I got on my phone and I looked. It just happened to be on sale in store. It wasn't like a huge sale. By the time the euro conversion and all of that went through, I probably spent the same as I would have spent full price in the US. But like, there was just magic in the air, and I was like, is this gonna be a souvenir? Is this a soup? Yes. So yeah, there's just like an energy to this, especially pre-pandemic energy. Yeah. Now the next question is an underrated palette, and I don't know, there's something about this palette that I have come back around to really enjoy and love and appreciate, and I think I might have underrated it a little bit, and that is the Collidos Escape Pod palette. Now, if you are not a fan of somebody that destroys packaging and turns things into singles, avert your eyes. Because I turned it into single shadows, and this is like a ColourPop size pan, which is similar to the Futurism palette pan size, and the shadows fit in there. And for me, once I did that, I actually found myself reaching for this more. I think that the shimmers, Kaleido shimmers, are always magnificent. They are fantastic. The mattes are really nice. I was annoyed by this palette because of the duplicate oranges. The greens are similar, although I love green shimmers, so, you know. But like, for me, I enjoyed this palette, but I wasn't reaching for it as much. And over the process of decanting it, I don't know who I am, I have reached for this more. And I just think that, like, I still have a love of the smaller 6-pan color stories Collidos does, but I also think that they can do a bigger color story really nicely. So Escape Pod is one of those that, like, for me, feels a little underrated. But the next question, okay, so here's the thing. The next question is not a favorite, but can't get rid of. This, to me, probably actually fits more in underrated, but it also counts because this one is not a favorite because of the color story, not because of formula. I adore this palette. It's the Drench Cosmetics Jupiter Jungle palette. And the reason why it's like somewhere between not a favorite and underrated is because it's a neutral palette. And if you cannot tell from this, again, alien metallic look, I'm not much of a neutral bitch. But the shimmers in here are super beautiful and metallic. Just like a great range of tones. The black in here is so fucking intense. There is a green, which brings me a lot of joy. There is a nice range of metallics and mattes. And I think this is vastly underrated. If you're a neutral lover and you're also like, I want to support indie brands, I want to shop small, if that's what you're looking for, Drench is where it's at. And I know that Josh, the owner of Drench, is working on restocking that palette. But I just find that, like, it's one of those palettes where it's like, I don't want to get rid of it because it performs so beautifully. It's just that, for me, it's not a palette I reach for regularly. I was gonna not do swatches because I don't have a lot of micellar water to clean things off with, but you know, we'll see how long that truly lasts. So the next question up is the favorite collab, and there are so many palettes that could have fit this category, but like, this person is my friend and I love them, and I love the brand. So I had to give it to Lethal is Dead with Teresa is Dead and Lethal Cosmetics. Again, it's a magnetized palette, so I can use it as singles. I can use this fucking amazing packaging as storage for other color stories. The Lethal Matte formula is immaculate as always. The shimmers are lovely. I've said it before, I've used this as a face palette, highlight and blush. And Teresa, I just fucking adore Teresa. I'm so grateful that I consider them a true friend and somebody that has just inspired me in so many ways. So had to give this another shout out. I know it's not available anymore, but I'm sorry. I actually don't know if many of these palettes are actually available. Eek. Now, the next question is the 2021 favorite, and this was the other, like, favorite collab that could have, they're interchangeable, and I'm giving it to the whole fucking legendary Diversa collection. Like, first of all, Tina, again, a friend, a true friend, a sweet baby angel. I adore Tina. I'm so fucking impressed and proud of this color story. So into it. And then Judy's palette and Annette's palette are beautiful. There is a variety of textures in terms of the shimmers and multi-chrome. There are mattes. And the packaging is beautiful. They are compact but impressive and just... like, if I had to give it to one, I'm going to give it to the beautiful, beautiful Hummingbird palette, because how fucking stunning is this palette? But they're all beautiful, and I think that as a whole, they work together so nicely. But, like, Tina especially, just thank you. Thank you, Tina, because I wouldn't have this collection without Tina. And I just think this is a beautiful collection, and it made me excited. It introduced Odin's Eye to me, and it makes me excited to see what's next for the brand. I see you, green palette. I see you. The next question is a palette I didn't expect to love. Here's what I'm going to say. I definitely... I expected to hate on this palette even though I wanted it, and that is the Viseart Violet Entendu palette. Now, this is a little 12-pan palette. We have mattes, we have shimmers, and this is really my first exposure to the Viseart formula, and I was generally expecting it to just be overrated. I have to say, this is a lovely little palette. The shimmers actually do pack a little punch, like a little something. The mattes perform really beautifully. My like hater moment with this is this top row just feels a little too close to be for full shades. So I would love this more if two of these were more purple tones, even like a brighter purple shimmer, because this one is very pink. So like it's not perfect for me, but I've said this before, it satisfied my Huda Beauty Rose Quartz desires while also bringing in purple, some nice formula purples. Now, like, I brought this in the same time as the Blend Bunny palette, so I do find myself reaching for that one more. But as a whole, I'm very happy with this, and I was skeptical. I actually just thought of another palette that would answer this next question, so I decided to go grab it. So the next up is the palette that sparks joy. Now, the palette that I grabbed initially, and I still stand by that, is the Collidos VR Neon palette. This was the Futurism 4. It was limited edition. It's no longer available. It's a rainbow palette. And I think for me, the thing that keeps me holding on to this palette in particular are the two shimmers. The shimmer pink and the orange are just so beautiful and textured and shiny and vibrant, like pigmented. Come on, block me out. Super duper pigmented. Just very pretty and shiny and like just stunning. And the mattes in there play along nicely. They're a little bit of a thinner formula matte than some other Collidos or some other colorful mattes that I like. But again, packaging with Collidos, like the whole experience is just joy inducing. And this is one that I adore. And like I, in the last year, went through a process of decluttering some of my Futurism palettes, but that one, I couldn't do it. But the other one I wanted to grab that sparks joy is the Mira Beauty Lust palette. Now, the Greed palette was the green palette in this collection, and I'm going to mention it later on in the tag. But this one, like, I knew this was beautiful, and I knew I was going to be into it, but there's something about, like, the art and the color story that's just so joy-inducing. Like the palette has a really nice mix of mattes and shimmers. I find that you can get like very punchy pink looks and plummy looks and purple looks, and it's just a beautiful color story, and I love it. I really enjoy it. I might have to feature this one soon because it's so pretty, and like I said, the whole package sparks a lot of joy for me. The newest palette in my collection, which is the next question, is also from Mira Beauty, and that is the Melancholia palette. Oh, that's the back. And I did a video with this, and any videos that I can link and I can remember to do so, I will, but no promises. But there is like videos on all of these palettes in my channel. Just search the not description box. There's a search function on my channel. Search it. You'll see videos on all of these palettes. But this is a beautiful, like kind of warm and cool palette. We have some really textural shimmers and some softer shimmers, pastels and brights and deeps, and these like warm punches on this side. It's a really, really lovely palette. And yet again, gorgeous like design, gorgeous art. Totally feeling it. Now, the last question, because we've run through this pretty quickly, the last question is the first palette I used in 2022. So I looked back through my phone to see makeup looks that I did at the beginning of the year. And I remember, because I did a multichrome brow look like today, that the first look I did on the first day of the new year was a green look featuring my green singles palette. So, you know, I mean, I don't need another excuse to show this beauty, but like I will. It's missing a couple of shadows, but like my heart, this is my heart. So this was technically the first thing I reached for in the new year, but a video I did about a week later, I don't know, it was about a week later when I filmed it. I don't know when I put it up. But I did a palette pairing video with some neglected makeup that featured the Greed palette and the Pat McGrath Midnight Sun palette. So I loved that look, and like y'all loved that look, at least on Instagram. I can't remember. Whatever. Y'all loved that look. And so I paired this palette, which has like the kind of army green and some deeper mattes and some sparkly topper kind of formulas. And I paired it with the Greed palette, which is also so beautiful. So this is, again, a swampy and bright, very bright green, turquoise, kind of brown palette. And so I put them together. They pair together really nicely. And I have to say, like, I like that process because I can show love to two palettes and kind of, you know, one palette's strength might be another palette's weakness or vice versa. So yeah, this was the look that I did where I did the, you know, like dark lip and grungy eyes. I love that look. It was so much fun. So I definitely am a green queen, and I'm always drawn to doing green eye looks, and this year started out no different. So that was my eyeshadow palette tag round 2. Just a simple little let's talk about makeup we love kind of tag, which I love, I adore, you know, always a good time. If y'all want to answer any of the tag questions in the comments, I would love to hear from you. Tell me about the palette that sparks joy for you, or one that is so underrated. I would love to, you know, get some juicy palette recommendations. Anyway, thank you so much for spending a bit of your day with me. I probably forgot to say this at the beginning, but, you know, if you're not yet subscribed and you like colorful makeup, you like bitches with lots of opinions, or you just like cute fat babes, I hope you will subscribe and join the Hanhan fam. And most importantly, take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday, because you are worth it. Bye, friends. Just look like a bondage alien queen as my neighbor walks by and waves at me. The way I vacillate between see me bitch and don't perceive me is a lot. Okay.